everyone. So Oti and I have decided to try something a bit different. Now, as many of you know, we live near Dartmoor, and it's one of the few places in the UK, along with Scotland, that you can wild camp. So we spend a lot of our time walking on moors, and I'd quite like to be able to stay overnight to extend that sort of walk. I'm also thinking next year when we go to Scotland, I loved Skye this year, there's a lot of islands you can go to, but you can't take your car. So wouldn't it be great to be able to go over on a boat and camp overnight? So this is another idea we've had. The third one is I want to take the kayak out and camp. There's some places, certainly some islands, that I'd love to go to. So all this has led to me looking for a tent. Obviously the two tents I have, the Airbeam is amazing, but nothing like suitable for this. And the one off the side of the car, you need the car. I had in my mind, I looked through a load at Go Outdoors on their website, had one in mind, went on a wild camping site on Facebook, and everyone said don't get it. So that ruined that idea. But I took lots of people's advice, went down to Go Outdoors last night. A lovely guy called Craig helped me in the Exeter store, and I've come away with a Rakoon II by OEX. So let's open it up and see what's in there. First thing to note, it really usefully has the instructions sewn into the bag. How ideal, I can't lose them. Now this is my sort of style. Labelled up, I can't go wrong. First step, assemble all your pole sections and lay them out ready for use. Right, let's do that then. A couple of things that really appealed to me about this tent was the weight. It's just under 2.8 kilos. I will put the full specs in the description. And that it's got aluminium poles. I've had a carbon fibre tent in the past, hated it. So the aluminium's definitely a benefit. Well, that was easy, that's the poles laid out. Now I need to lay out the bedroom with the clips facing upwards. So that's the bedroom laid out, clips facing upwards. It doesn't say so, but I think I'm going to zip up the door. And then we start threading the poles in. Okay, so this looks to be a more refined design of the toilet tents and things I've got. So in we go, and the slot into place. And then I'm going to work my way along, putting the clips over the pole. That's the first one in place. I found it easier to push backwards on the pole as I clipped in a bit, so that it didn't slide out of position. Right, next side, lesson learnt for me, when you're putting the second pole in, go underneath the first one on both sides. Having battled so much with a previous carbon fibre tent and the toilet tent, which is the same, that was pretty easy. In fact, it was very easy. I don't know that I'd want to be doing it in the rain though, not without tarpaulin up first. Okay, these little strappy bits are quite useful, keep the pole together and help with tension. Next instruction is peg out the fly sheet. Now nothing's been referred to as a fly sheet. I've got the bedroom, i.e. inner tent or the outer tent. I suppose I could peg the four corners, couldn't I? I won't now, let's get the top over, but I guess maybe that's what it means. Peg these four corners out. Okay, place the fly sheet out over the assembled frame in a line. That was easy enough. So I've basically mirrored the crosses of the poles with the crosses of the outer. Tie the inner ribbons onto the frame to secure. Right, I guess I better find some inner ribbons. Inner ribbons found, and I'll tie them to the cross of the poles. Okay, so we now need to place this bit round the aluminium tip on each corner, and then tension. I haven't figured out tensioning yet. I get it now, so these are the straps we tension with, which actually this is looking okay. There you go, looking pretty good. I think I just have to peg it out now. Secure the fly sheet out, pegging both the inner and outer where required. Right, earlier on it refers to the fly sheet outers, that's what they're calling the fly sheet. Right, let's do that. I haven't fully pegged it out, but that shows me what I'm going to be doing. And actually, for the first time ever, the pegs that come with the tent, they're pretty good quality. So I'm actually going to take them with me. I was going to swap them out for some of my own, but I think for tonight, we'll give them a go. That's it, up. Obviously this evening I will peg out the guy ropes as well and peg it out fully round the tent. But this is part of what I liked about the design. There's enough storage outside, but fully covered storage. I can put my bag one side and it's the same the other side, so boots the other. Perfect. Right, let's see if I can pack it away again. Oti is very pleased with her Oti-sized tent. I'm not sure she's going to be quite so convinced when I let her know this evening what I'm sharing with her. Hey, we'll wait and see. Next lesson. Remember to undo the inner ties before you try and lift it off, otherwise you look a bit of a wally. The outer tent went away very easily, the inner tent a little bit more fiddly. I obviously haven't squeezed enough air out, but that's fine, we'll go with it. And the poles can go loose in the main bag. That's all fitted back into the main bag very easily. Excellent. So I'm going to have some lunch, wait for it to cool down a bit, and then we'll head for Dartmoor. So yeah, my first experience with the OEX Rakoon II. I'm pretty pleased. We're just starting to approach the outer sort of grounds of the quarry. And what a stunning day for it. Can't get much better than this. How about that for a view, hey? Wow. This, I think, is our spot. Decent amount of flattish land, well away from a road, well outside the confines of the quarry. I think this will do us. Oti's not going to help me set up, but I don't need her to. All she needs to do is wait patiently whilst I do. I'm very glad that I set this up at home only a few hours ago, because it does mean it's nice and fresh in my mind. I've walked around this whole little area, and this does seem to be the largest rock-free area. So we'll carry on setting up. So that's the bedding, and as you can see, there's plenty of space around it still. So that's me, all sorted, sleeping bag in, bed in. I didn't bring a pillow because there's a fairly built-in one in my bed, and I've decided whichever of the two fleeces I've brought I don't use will go on top to make it lighter. And there's a mat for Oti to sleep on. There really is loads of storage. Anything I don't need has gone back into the rucksack, and it's all been stashed in there, so that's only a quarter of storage. So actually, there's loads. Well, so far, I'm really pleased with my choice of tent. All pitched up. Time to relax. That's this side, zipped up and pegged ready. Then we'll have to think about getting some lights on in a minute. Having a quick look in here, I've got two lights I usually keep in the car for walking. I've got my small lantern from my normal camping, because it made me realise just how big my big lantern is. And that's us, looking cosy for the night. As you can see by the light swinging, there is a bit of a breeze, but it's absolutely perfect out here. What more could we ask for? I just can't get over this, and I just can't believe I haven't done it sooner. Well, I'm really impressed with how it's holding up so far. It's time for bed. That's us settled in for the night. Oti's got plenty of room, but not the usual sort of loads she has to stretch out in, but perfectly adequate. We're zipped in happily. I've got my phone plugged into a decent charger, which I'll unplug before I go to bed, but I know that gives about 10 charges, so we've got loads of power in that. It's time for us to go to bed. Oh, there's really handy pockets to put my glasses in. Perfect. Oh, there's one up front there, that's probably even safer. Actually, looking around, there's no lack of storage whatsoever. That is brilliant. That's got more than my big 4-man air beam has got. Well, Otie's got her spot. Night night, Otie. See you in the morning. As you can hear, I've been woken up by rain. I guess it gives us more of a test of a tent, doesn't it? I must say I'm feeling very warm and snuggly in here. Well, I'm missing having a loo in the tent, like I do with the air beam. Good morning, everyone. Oti and I have been out for a bit of a walk, and then we've come back and hidden in the tent. As you can hear, the rain's picked up again. I'm going to have to get really organised, aren't I? It's not like with my big tent where I can pack everything up and leave it in the outer, whilst I put everything away and then just take the outer down wet, because the outer's got to come down first. So I think I'll get what I can packed into the rucksack, bed down, etc., and then carry on thinking. My shoes and things on one side of the tent didn't get wet at all, they were absolutely fine. The rucksack is slightly damp on one side, but that's not bad at all. I've switched my shoes over to this side because I'll work on this side now. And this is where I think this storage is so useful, because it means I can now start packing the rucksack but still be dry. Right, that's everything I can pack packed. I've left out the bags for the tent. Time to brave going outside. There we go, that's us up. Time to unpeg the guys, roll them up, unpeg the rest of the tent, and then start taking down. There's a bit of a breeze, but nothing's made life too difficult. That's all the pegs out, guys tied up. Pegs on a rock so I can't lose them. I've emptied the water bottle because we're only going to head back to the car now. We've got gun dog training this morning. I hadn't realised time would be getting on quite so much. So yeah, time to take the outer tent off. I've just stuck one peg back in a corner as it is trying to blow away while I do this. Outer off, I'll pack it away as soon as I've got the inner down. Yeah, I'm just using some very handy ballast while I move my rucksack out, as that's the only thing that was stopping it blowing away. Good girl, well done. Rain's eased off and this really is so quick and easy to take down, but the rods just pull out. Well, that is us all packed up and ready to head off. It really didn't take long. With my back to the wind, it was actually easier. The inner today, the outer was a bit trickier because it's a bit lighter and was catching wind, but not difficult. All packed up nicely, and if we have a quick look around, good girl, you wait there. Leave no trace. I've gone round my little site, made sure that nothing's escaped from me, so we're leaving absolutely nothing behind. I use these poo pods, dry deal, for Oti waste and any tissues or anything I've used as well. I've just seen actually the zip and bottom bags loose, I need to do that one up. Just before we do leave, one point to note, Oti is old enough and reliable enough now, I know she'll stay in one place if I leave her there. She's got a fair bit of training on her. If she were younger or I had a new dog, I would have to factor in some sort of tie stake as well to bring in to tie her up to, because there's not always a convenient sort of fence or even a rock or anything suitable. Right, time for us to carry on. I look a mess, but you know what? We've really enjoyed that. The rucksack is considerably lighter now because I've emptied water out. We're not going to need it between here and the car, and I've drunk most of the squash. So let's carry on walking. The walk back always seems to be longer than the walk there. Back at the car after our first night away. What did I think of the OEX Rakoon II? Well, obviously I've got nothing similar to compare it to, but I do have other tents. It's good quality, well made. I'm really pleased with the design. Easy to put up, easy to take down. Didn't have any condensation this morning. Nicely waterproof, as I would expect any tent on a first time out, to be honest. The only thing I would say is Oti and I are off to do other things now, and we'll be then going home. If we were walking on and camping again tonight, the fact that you take the inner tent out, or leave it up rather, last, would be trickier, because I'm now left with a damp tent. Having said that, it's very lightweight material and it would dry pretty quickly, but I don't know that I'd be wanting to put it up tonight particularly. Other than that, very pleased with it, very pleased with the quality, the ease of use, and looking forward to our next trip. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you all again soon.